Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Nick
Mike here.
I'm Jackson.
And Tony.
from Sports Talk. Today's segment is the future of the football Giants, the New York Football Giants. Who do you got here, Mike? What are you thinking?
See, future is just it's a word that can mean many things. Like technically, in 10 minutes, that's the future. So I don't know if you're talking about after this year or the future of this year, but I'll start off by talking about the future of this year. They're not going to make the playoffs because Daniel Jones is hurt. They don't know how long he's going to be out. I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. I think the Washington football team actually wins that division. But I think the Giants took a step in the right direction this year. Joe Judge, Nick, I'll give it to you. You liked him the whole time. I did not like him. I was just unsure of the hire. But I think Joe Judge is going to be a great coach for the Giants. Jason Garrett has surprisingly done a good job as the offensive coordinator. Daniel Jones needs to play better. Let's be honest with it. Daniel Jones needs to play a lot better to keep the starting job here next season. But the defense, that is what impresses me the most, is the Giants' defense. Their defense is good. This is the first time in a long time we saw a dominant Giants defense. And if the offense can put it together, get Saquon back healthy, even though I do think people are going to get mad at me for this, but I think Wayne Gallman plays better in that Giants offense than Saquon does. They got to find a better way to use Saquon to his strengths instead of forcing him to be a power back. But we'll get into that for another video. With a healthy Saquon, a good offensive game plan, and if Daniel Jones fixes his throws the ball accurately, and does not turn the football over, the Giants can be a contender in the NFC East next season.
Good. Jackson, what are you thinking?
So
Funny, Nick.
Look at the Giants being we have below us. Look at this guy. Tony's glad to have you here.
First time we're seeing Tony here on the talks.
I know. Dude, first he's up in a tuxedo with me doing the commentary. Now he's on the stream. Good to have him.
Tony. All right.
Right.
I think the Giants are stupid if they draft the quarterback. I know I've seen people say the Giants should go out and get a quarterback in the draft this year. That's totally wrong. They shouldn't get. They need to go. What they need to do is they need to get an offensive lineman. If they don't make the playoffs, I think they're gonna go get that Sewell guy out of Oregon. Is that where he's from? Yep. I think they're going to go him. They're going to add him to the offensive line. Young Andrew Thomas is starting to get better. He's starting to look much better after a horrendous start from him. And then that defense, like you said, Mike, they've just been out of this world. They go out, they get James Bradbury, who's been looking like an all-pro cornerback this year. Logan Ryan, I think he's a little underrated safety. And then Blake
Martinez has been a star.
Blake Martinez has been – the last couple of years he's been leading the league in tackles. I mean, that defense is fierce. And I think, that, again, they just get a couple pieces on the offensive line, get Daniel Jones, another guy to throw the ball to. You get healthy Saquon Barkley, and you like Wayne Gallman a lot. That offense could be really good, too, in a couple years. So maybe the Giants, they end up going from this team that's 4-7, and they end up winning like 10 games next year. So that's all I got. Let's go to big Giants, man.
All right, Tony. As a Giants fan, what have you been seeing?
What I've been seeing is I've seen the defense step up a lot this year. You got, like Mike said, it's been a while since we've seen a dominant Giants defense. Our defense this year, I'm pretty amazed about it. It's just something about it. But like the offense, like Mike said, they slip up here and there. They're not the greatest. Like he said, Daniel Jones could play a lot better. He's been playing a little bit better than last year, but I just feel like we should give him another year. And if he can't do it, then I think we move on from Jones. But as the future for the Giants, I see a bright picture. Like for this season, I'm happy that we're in first place for now. But I've been saying it, even with Jones, I don't think we're even going to make first. I don't think we're going to win the division with Jones either. So I do see the Washington football team taking it over soon.
Yeah, me too. I did too.
Yeah.
Let me say one thing about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is so used to being hit like so often. And I think that's why his throws are a bit inaccurate. I think he feels rushed when he doesn't need to be rushed. If they get Daniel Jones some protection and he just holds on and does not turn the football over, Daniel Jones is going to be a good quarterback.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. It's like I said, if they don't make the playoffs, there's a good chance they're going to get that guard out of Oregon.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, look. I mean, that Giants team, one thing that's special about him is Daniel Jones. I mean, this guy can be either the biggest playmaker on the field when Barkley's not there, of course, or he can be the guy that absolutely screws the team over. I mean, Jason Garrett just tells him all the time, just don't throw that interception and we'll win. Just don't try to do too much. If you can just throw the ball away, you'll be fine. It's the little things with Jones that's making everyone question him. Like, why are you throwing the interception? We've seen you run 21 miles per hour. That's good. We don't need anything more. Now just don't be stupid. I mean, that's all he has to do. I mean, the fumbles and stuff, again, I don't blame the quarterback all the time for that. I blame the offensive line, and you build a better offensive line, and that automatically changes. Now, the one thing I want to point out is, and that's something I've been harping on, and Mike, you talked about in the beginning of the video.
One thing about the fumbles. Your boy, the quarterback guru himself, John Gruden, once said, you need to be a two-handed monster. Even if you're being hit, if you have two hands on that football at all times, you are less likely to fumble the football. Now, there's going to be cases where you are throwing the ball, your arm gets hit, you fumble. But Daniel Jones is sometimes careless with this hand, and that's why he does fumble the football as much as he fumbles the football. Carson Wentz is the exact same way.
I agreed. All right, so now here we go now. Now we got the other point I want to make is I do love your coaching staff. I do love Joe Judge. He seems like a little bit of a hothead, but I like that sometimes. I mean, you saw him fire Mark Colombo after they had a verbal fight. I mean, so I guess they were arguing. And I heard that latest rumors. I don't look too much into rumors, but supposedly Jason Garrett might not be back next year. Look, what I'm saying is this. I'm a huge fan of Joe Judge. And Tony, I remember in lunch with you walking down the hallway saying, I think this is the guy. And I remember you and Greg, both Giants fans, telling me, what are we doing? What are we doing? A special teams coordinator? A special teams coordinator? What are we doing? There's Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett should be our head coach. At least he knows the Dallas Cowboys. I remember, I think, Mike, you said he was a wide receivers coach. He said, did the Patriots ever have a good receivers? No. So there was a lot of questions. But what I did hear right on from the beginning was that the Patriot players respected him. And when Bill Belichick wasn't in the room, they said that he was the second man in charge. And one thing I didn't tell you about this Joe Judge guy, whether it's that Twitter video that went viral of him jumping on the fumble or him after his press conferences, after games, he literally makes a show. Like there's literally a TV show that you can watch is like Joe Judge's film room where he literally breaks down every play and what's going on. We don't usually see this stuff, but the guy, even when at the end of the game, when he does his post conference after the game's over, he gets to the stadium and he's like, they're like, you're running a little late, Joe. What's the problem? He's like, I want to talk to my players for a while. I'm going to be late every time. So stop telling me. He wants to talk to his players. He demands perfection. There's not been too many coaches in the NFL that make their players run laps when they do something bad. This guy does. And I like the old school mentality. Everyone loses it now. They're like, oh, well, people that try that, they lose respect. Not a single player in that Giants locker room lost respect for him. And know why I think that's true too? A lot of these other organizations, including somebody that was on the Giants a while ago called Odell Beckham Jr., who was just being a cancer in the locker room. If you look in the Giants locker room, there is no cancer. And they all are buying into Joe Judge. Saquon Barkley's a fine man. Daniel Jones is an all right guy. I mean, these guys are all pretty dang good people. You don't hear them complaining left and right anymore. They're all okay people. And that's allowing the entire team to buy into Judge. And Judge is making them win. Will they win the division? I have no idea. What will they draft next year? I hope they draft offensive linemen to protect Daniel Jones unless we see him struggle. But at the end of the day, if I was to draw a graph right now that shows you what direction they were going in.
Nice pink whiteboard.
Thank you. It's my sisters. It would be going in a direction like that. See that? That's going upward. It's like the stock market. You guys hit big. Congratulations. Keep going. Don't sell out now. Keep Daniel Jones. Build with Jones, and you'll make a lot of money at the end of the day. That's what they got to do. Hold on to Jones. Let him build chemistry with Jason Garrett. Let him build chemistry with Joe Judge. Let this core come together. I don't know what you do with Saquon. I'm a big fan of Saquon. Does he fit the scheme? Not as well as Goldman. I do agree with Mike. You guys know I thought he was the best player, best running back in the NFL, talent-wise. I still think he's very talented, but he can't stay on the field. Look, what do you guys do? I don't know. If you trade him, you guys don't get anything for him. So we all know that. And Mike, you're the first one to admit all the time. Players' value in the NFL nowadays is so little, it's not even there. I mean, you trade Odell for – actually, Odell, that trade wasn't bad. But there's so many trades that they trade people for like a third or fifth round pick. It's like, oh, my goodness. That is terrible. Yeah. Anything else? Did any of you guys have anything?
No, I just say good luck.
Nope.
The Giants.
Protect Daniel Jones. All I got.
Yeah.
Tony, any final hoorah?
Yeah, I say just protect Jones. And then back to Saquon. Last little thing is next year he comes back, his fourth final year on the contract. I say if we can't get him to work, we either let him walk or trade. Yeah, I feel that's the best thing.
I agree. And that's actually interesting that you bring it up, actually. Fourth year on the deal. This is a prove year for Saquon next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, back off the injury, too.
It's his rookie contract, so you don't want to pay him big money if he's not going to be worth it. So good point. I like that one. That was
exactly. Coming off the ACL injury, you gotta prove it.
Very, very risky. Giants fans, I wish you all the best of luck. I truly do. I'm a fan of your organization, and I'm also a fan of the Washington football team too, which I'll talk to in the next video. Guys, sign off now. Nick,
Mike,
Jackson,
and Tony
from Sports Talk. We'll see y'all soon. We are
built better.
See ya soon. Peace.